Hello and welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm Dean Meagher. Today I want to discuss a few things that I think affect putting distance control, especially as we come into the winter months when it's a bit colder. So I just want to discuss with you today a few things that I think will help you to hopefully lessen those three putts and have better scores despite the cold. So let me first start by saying I think generally in winter there's a bit more moisture on the greens. That can be because there's a lot of dew in the mornings, but also because there's a bit of rain, and generally it doesn't evaporate as quickly throughout the day. So what you're going to find is greens that sometimes have a bit of moisture on them, and it's just very important to make sure that your putter face is dry and the ball is dry. So sometimes I'll see people hit a ball onto the green, they won't mark it and clean it and dry it off. They'll just go ahead and putt the ball, and that's an issue because the water will get in between the face and the ball. And so what will happen is that'll deaden the impact of the shot, and depending upon how much water is actually on the ball or on your putter face, it's going to give you a very different result in the distance of the putt. So I always make sure I wipe the putter face dry before I putt. When I'm doing my practice strokes, they're up in the air, so I'm not picking up moisture there. And then I simply put my putter behind the ball, which is of course dry because I have dried it. So that's a little tip that I think can really make a difference. The second point I'll make is that generally your hands are going to be quite cold. And so you don't really want to rely upon them for distance control. And I think people that are too much handsy putters become even worse as winter progresses because they can't really feel their hands very well. They can't control them very well because there's not a lot of blood flow through them. And so your touch and feel is a bit thrown out. And so I would highly recommend anyone become better with using their shoulders as the predominant sort of source of power in their putting stroke, and allow their hands to kind of just be relaxed and soft on the putter. If you use your bigger muscle groups, you'll generally find it a lot easier to control the speed of the putter and control the speed of the ball. Now, a quick point in that is that there are just too many muscles in the hand and forearm as well that I tend to see people, it could be because they're wearing maybe more layers in winter as well. They find it harder to turn or use their shoulders, so all they do is start relying upon their hands. And when you start relying upon your hands too much, you can both flick the putt in different directions, so your direction control's out, but also you can hit the putt way too hard or too soft if you freeze up in the hands. So there's a lot of variety that can occur when I see a player is predominantly a wrist putter, and I don't want you to fall into that same trap. Finally, tempo-wise, I just think it's really important to manage your tempo, and I think this is a general rule of being able to have good distance control in putting, is that your putting stroke looks smooth, it looks like the putter is swinging, you're utilizing the natural gravity of the putter, the weight of the putter, to swing the putter head. You don't want to be hitting the putts, and you don't want to be going long to short and stabbing at the putt. You want to feel like it is a putting stroke and not a putting hit. And so if we set up to this putt here, I got a nice dry putter face, I'm letting my shoulders do the work. I'm just going to swing the putter head and hope that I'm going to guess the amount of stroke required to hit the right speed. We'll see how this one goes. That's going to come up a little short. And this is again why you might also warm up well before you go out to play, just to really get a feel of the speed of the greens. On the next one, I'm going to try to make a little bit of an adjustment to just swing it a little bit harder, a little bit more swing on the putter head. Oh, robbed. But I was really happy with that speed. I just hit it that little bit firmer, and that's really because I was able to judge a little bit more swing, a little bit more length of swing to my putter. And so because I'm able to use my shoulders, and I've done that for a long time, it's very much inbuilt into my putting stroke, and I would encourage everyone to practice using their shoulders as much as possible, especially in the winter months when your hands are really cold. So I hope this helps you. And I look forward to hearing about your putting stats come through this winter, and hopefully you have less three putts and hopefully score a lot better.